It's me, Vera, here to remind you that this is an adult podcast. That means we're going to deal with tough topics. Take a break if you need it, and be kind to yourself, because we sure won't be.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cracked Crown, a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition podcast. As always, I am your storyteller, Mike Martin, joined today by four wonderful players, Josh, Dot, Mark, and Jason. Hello. Welcome back.
Hello.
Little bit of a cliffhanger
Little
on the last
cliffy.
episode. We'll pick right back up in that in a moment. It's one big. I forgot to say this last time, and I feel like an idiot. Send your well wishes to Bub, everybody. Bub is he'll be back in a couple of weeks. He's healing up after some surgery right now. You can see his journey over on his Twitter. It's Bub Talks. Send love to Bub, man. He's putting in so much work, and he deserves to rest and heal. So he'll be back though. Don't worry, Duke will make a grand return in a few weeks. Speaking of grand return, please grandly return to patreon.com/podbynight to support the show, everybody. Yeah, it's a good way to support us. You get some extras on the other side of things. You can join the community game, special rooms in the Discord, which the Discord is available for everybody to join as we crawl to 1,000 people in that Discord. And if you want to support us via Twitch, because it's easier for you, you can do subs, you can do bits and all that good stuff now. The amount of support here on Twitch directly goes to cast and paying for art and all that good stuff. And it's just been awesome to see the immense amount of support here on Twitch since we've been streaming. Which brings me to the last thing. If you like and want more of us playing Vampire, you can check us out right here at twitch.tv/podbynight every single Saturday, where we play at 4 p.m. EST more Vampire. Our Shadows of Sybil SOS Season 3 is rolling. It's the final season of that story, and the episodes have been very intense from episode 1 on. We've done 5 episodes, and I don't think there's a single episode where something crazy didn't happen. And it's been super fun, so check that out. It is most of the players here are over there. Dot, myself, Josh pops up as a guest. We might see some other guests. We also have Ava, aka Tracy, over there too, and she'll be, like I said many times, on some Pod by Night stuff in the future. I love playing with Tracy. Okay, I think it's all of our announcements. I'm eager to jump back in, so if we're all good, let's set the scene, rein things in, and see what our coterie is up to. We pick back up with not a slow fade in, but an instant blink. As we have a profile shot on this dim lit suburban street with cars lining both sides, and a figure stood staring almost empty into a car's window. As our vision comes into focus, we see it to be none other than Shaun. Shaun saw something surprising, maybe even shocking, but it was gone in a literal blink. You stand there now, moments after seeing a face you haven't seen in quite some time, but you hear nothing, you see nothing, and if we see Shaun bring his hands up to his face to touch it, you feel nothing either. What does Shaun do in this moment?
I think he just, he's muttering to himself as he gets back on his way to the house. He's just like, you lost, old man. Everything.
There is not a response. No voice in your mind to bicker back. You speak to an empty street, and the empty street responds in kind. Silently. Maybe as you gather your senses and bring your vision up after mumbling to yourself, ensuring that the old man is gone, the diablerie went in your way. You see the house, but now with somebody hurrying up the steps to it. There is no knock, as this figure that is just out of reach to get any details in your vision hurriedly opens the front door and shuts it behind them. The front light goes out.
Hey, I was just coming to check on you. are you running from?
Are you going up to the front door? Are you?
Oh
like,
yeah,
walking
yeah.
up to the
He's
door?
going straight
Yeah,
up
because
the
you
front
see,
door.
you're still like a few houses back, and you see this silhouette
still
figure run up
away?
the stairs.
Okay.
Opens the door. Yeah, you got stuck just looking at yourself for a minute in the car.
Yeah, of course.
But you're just a few houses away, and you see this happen. And as the person enters the door, the front porch light immediately gets turned off.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to them and just be like.
So you go up to the front
What's the
door. Do you
problem?
knock? Do you? Actually, as you walk up to the front door, refresh my memory. Is the front door the one that Robert busted the lock for, or was that just the door to the? It was the front door, right? Okay. As you walk up to the door, what that looks undamaged until you get close enough, you realize that as you reach forward to maybe knock or ring the doorbell, the deadbolt on the other side, there's a fracture in the wood, and you can see that this door has been forcibly opened, and it no longer can lock properly.
Yeah.
It can shut, but it can't lock.
Yep, this is the right place.
Do you open the door? Do you knock? What do you do?
Is there a person out here, or are they gone?
No, they went up the stairs, opened the front door, went in the front door,
I thought
shut
they
it,
came
and the
out.
light went out.
Sorry, my mistake.
No,
Right.
other way around, my bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna very gently creak open this busted door.
Okay, give me a dexterity stealth check if you're trying to stay quiet. Do you want to rouse the blood and make it
No.
better?
I'll
Okay.
take.
With two,
Two.
you creak the door open, and as you do so, you could see in this dark room a flickering of like a blue and whitish light that's coming from a muted TV. But there's nobody in the immediate living room. There's a long couch set up against the wall, right next to the archway that leads to a hallway that goes to what you assume is a bathroom, a bedroom, and a kitchen. But you see no figures in the immediate area.
I should be careful of the people who went, or the person who went upstairs, but
There's no upstairs. There is no upstairs.
Oh.
There's a basement
There
you
is a
know
basement.
of, but that's it.
yes.
Yeah.
But they said that it was in the basement, so yes. I'm going to see if I can find the door down.
So as you walk your way in very quietly, you realize the door to the basement is going to be the first door on your left. You won't, if you wish to see the bedroom or the kitchen or any other part of the house, you would have to go past it. So do you immediately go into the basement, or do you explore the first floor first? I just want to know what your options are, what your choices are.
I think he wouldn't do anything more than a quick scan around, and I already can't see anyone, right?
If you do,
So,
okay, yeah. So you're not going to check each individual room. You're just going to
No.
look down the hallway. You don't see anybody.
yeah, he's gonna
Start
bob
making
his
your way
head
down the
around the
basement.
corner, but then he's gonna go straight for the basement door.
As you reach for the basement door and you turn the handle, you pull the door. It's now you realize that the basement door is locked from the inside.
Bad juju going down in here.
Do you want to try and pick the lock?
Yeah, we'll give this one last go. These new
All right,
pick-
Dex larceny check.
these new
Dexterity
lock
larceny
picks.
check. Do you want to rouse the blood?
Do I want to? Oh, that gives me +2 now. So
It does give you +2 now. You're not a thin blood anymore.
I'm gonna save that for when I'm in trouble.
Okay, sure.
That's 3 successes.
3 successes. This is not a masterwork deadbolt. This is just kind of a deadbolt that was clearly added after the fact to this door. You spend some time whittling like a credit card down there, and you have your tools to kind of pop in, and eventually with just a little bit of work, you're able to pop that deadbolt, and able to open the door without a problem. We see Shaun stand, and do you hesitate, or do you just open the door and go?
Shaun's feeling like Max had the right idea in that this is not something that should be messed with.
Mhm.
So can he prepare and try and make himself a little bit faster?
In this moment, I think being on edge and perhaps as anxious as you are, and as you are taking in heeding Max's warning, and Shaun not being one that wants to fight, would rather just live, I would say yes, Shaun is able to make that happen.
Yeah. Can I use vicissitude for that?
Correct. Yeah, you may use your vicissitude.
Yeah. Okay, I do need to rouse check now, and I
Yeah.
fail. So
Okay, cool. You get a little hungrier. What are you at? 2?
I'm at 2, so it's not too
Okay.
bad. And then I do resolve and protein.
So with 4 successes, how much does it go up by? Is it still just 1?
Just 1, and I remove 1 from stamina.
Yeah, you have to move
shift
shit around.
Yeah, shifts around.
Our camera, as he pops the lock and we see him turn the door. As he turns the door handle, we hard cut to the other side, where pitch darkness slowly gives way to what little light is eeping its way out of the kitchen and into the crack as Shaun opens it. And as Shaun opens it, we actually watch subtle changes, but changes that our eyes catch nonetheless, of his figure. It's not that he suddenly gets bulkier and he's like suddenly a totally different looking person, but he gets a little leaner. His muscles a little more toned, the skin a little more on his arms, a little tighter around the edges, and his face ever slightly more angular. And as you slide into the door and quickly close it behind you, I need a wits awareness because it is dark. Are you leaving the door open? Are you opening it wide? Or are you like sliding in and then quietly shutting it behind you?
Yeah, he's sliding in. He's still
okay, so I need a wits
trying
awareness.
That is 2.
With 2 successes, you do notice right as you're about to shut the door, on this inside of the door seem to be some sort of runes, circles, patterns painted in a red, potentially blood, of the inside of the door. Robert and Max both saw this when they were there. However, a quick look at it, it does not remind you of thin blood alchemy.
Right, okay.
However, you also don't hear a cacophony of voices, a legion, as Max said. Instead, you hear one voice, a girl's, hushed in tone. As you take a moment and listen in, you simply hear her saying, shh, 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 it's okay, I'm here, it's all right. Reassuring words.
Shaun takes out his phone and takes a quick picture of the runes around the door, because this is not something that he should spend a lot of time on.
Sure.
And then he's going to very quietly go down the stairs until he can see where the voice is coming from. We talking dex stealth?
Dex stealth again.
That is 2.
You can reroll one of those if you choose.
It's not imperative that he's stealthy. He would just prefer that way. So.
And
yeah,
what are you doing? Are you trying to stay on the stairs, or are you going to go all the way down?
He's going to go to the bottom of the stairs and see if he can see the source of the voice from there, and otherwise he's going to go in.
It's quite simple. As you make your way down the stairs, you are greeted with a similar sight that Max and Robert were. And Max did a decent enough job describing it. There in a barren concrete basement, barring the absolute essential pieces of furniture like a chair in the corner, you see a painted circle of, once again, runes. And in the center, what seems to be a young girl. Her arms and legs both chained by iron chains to the ground underneath her. But next to her, cradling this unconscious body who is chained, is another girl. She looks not much older than the one being held by the one she is holding, and it is her that is who is cradling this other person, rocking gently back and forth, with very, very short brown hair, wearing jeans and a plain white t-shirt, just seemingly being caretaking, reassuring, coddling. You're not entirely sure if the girl chained is unconscious or simply exhausted.
Shaun's gonna drop the stealth at this point and just very gently ask, so what happened down here?
As the words fall from Shaun's lip, immediately alerting them to your presence, the girl who was gently cradling the other puts the girl on the ground in a hurry, stands up, and looks you in the eye. I'm only going to say this once, get out now.
I have a personal reason to know what happened.
She takes one simple step forward.
That's
He's
why
gonna
I
say,
said
"Can we
don't
just
mess
talk?
with nothing.
You don't need to do
don't
any
mess
juju."
with nothing. Talking is messing
I
with
wasn't
things.
messing.
You're welcome to make me. You know what?
man.
If you want to try, you're welcome. Before I make any rolls, you're welcome to make a charisma persuasion roll.
Oh, I'm absolutely doing a charisma persuasion.
Yeah, please make sure give me a charisma persuasion if you and tell me what you're saying. That is representative of a charisma persuasion roll.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's also going to rouse check at this point.
Sure,
because
yeah.
he
You
needs
don't get any
those
hungrier.
+2.
Yep. I'm gonna roll as well.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I'll give it to her wits insight.
That is a
Wow.
1 to 4.
That's a
5,
messy
6.
critical. You messy critical, good sir. Would you like to re-roll any of those, including the 10? Let me make my roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna re-roll 3, and one of them's gonna be the 10. I got 2
Wow.
more success. Well, I got 1 more success.
With 1 of 10, you still
I
messy,
still rolled a 10.
You still messy critical.
Damn it. Okay.
What is it that exactly you were saying in your persuade? Let me hear the words you are trying to speak here to calm this woman down.
I have a personal reason for being down here because I just want to talk. I know that this evil demon stuff only takes things away from people. And
As you say that, if you speak that last sentence, she cuts you off, and she, with fury in her face, "Don't you ever call my sister a demon."
No.
And before she can say anything, you messy critical, and as she looks to be reaching to maybe strike you or grab something, Shaun reacts instinctively. You move quicker now. You readjusted your body in an instinctual way, and because of that, you are faster than she is. And as she reaches for something, Shaun, in a blink, is behind her, putting her in a small headlock, barring her arms from reaching, as you can realize now, what seems to be some sort of a knife. Messy critical. You stopped her from doing it, but it wasn't exactly the smoothest. She now stands unable to move. You clearly have her in we'll call it a pin or like a pin in a brawl if she decides to fight. But in this, she will. If we consider this combat, she forgoes her next round. You just have her. You can speak.
Okay. No, you are going to listen.
You may absolutely make me another charisma, but this time intimidation.
Okay.
Yep, you're getting hungry. 3 is when the beast's voice, its urges, are much harder to ignore.
Okay, that is a 3.
3 successes though, just plain. So you have her with
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Stay still. I don't want any more harm to happen in this basement.
There's a moment of struggle from her, and as that first line of your threat eats its way out, the struggle ceases.
Look, I wasn't calling your sister a demon. Don't be stupid. I have also been hurt by demons, and I know that they're not the same thing as people.
She shakes her head and will speak. You ignorant fuck. It's not a demon. Stop saying it's a demon. We're not practitioners of that shit.
Whatever you want to call it. Just tell me what is going on down here.
She definitely seems to struggle momentarily. Not in a physical way, but emotionally, internally. Whether to speak more or not. My sister's just gifted.
What kind of gift means that you have to be chained in a basement?
The kind that she can't control.
Okay. And have you found a way to help her?
And what happens when I tell you? You're gonna take her away? Just like everybody else who fucking wants her?
I don't want your sister. Hell, I don't even want you. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with me and what's going on with Gary.
I want your name before I tell you anything.
I'm Shaun.
Shaun what? I want your whole name.
What do you want my whole name? I'm Shaun Best.
I want your whole name because I'm gonna hold you to your promise.
What do you want me to promise? That I won't hurt you?
You're not gonna touch her. take her anywhere.
She's not going anywhere.
You feel her entire posture relax completely. What do you want to know?
Some of the stuff around here, the circle, the runes on the door, did you do those?
No.
Where'd they come from?
They're just to keep this place quiet.
Okay.
She can't control it. She can get loud. It would give her away.
All right. Getting loud like a legion of voices?
Who fucking told you?
I got friends.
Yeah, like a legion of voices.
Yeah, okay. Well, that sounds pretty familiar to me. So what do you think it is?
It's what it's always been. She's been a gifted... When my sister was turned, something broke. It broke her. She was okay for a little while, but slowly she started seeing things. Eventually it became clear she was seeing the future, bits of it, pieces of it, immediate, long-term, and eventually it's all she ever could do.
All right. So it sounds like she was turned into a...
Her ability to... Her aspects... It's just beyond anything that I understand.
Are you kindred?
You didn't figure that out by how cold I was when you touched me.
I wasn't paying attention that close to you. I just didn't want to get stabbed, you know? It's happened more than my fair share. It's a long story. Look, you and your sister... I would like to know your names.
And if I say no?
Then you don't get to avail yourselves of me and my friend's new free blood program.
She doesn't really seem it doesn't really seem to impact her. I'm not worried about food. That's taken care of.
Good for you. But, do you want to be stuck in a basement? Do you want your sister to be stuck in chains forever? I'm coming from Chicago. We got money, we got contacts. If you need help, you can ask.
Okay,
And you can give me your name.
I'm Emma, and she's Charlotte.
Emma and Charlotte, now we're getting somewhere.
Is that it? Are we good?
The only other thing I really want to know is who did the blood magic in this basement.
I can't tell you that, I'm sorry.
But it wasn't you.
No.
And it wasn't your sister.
We're not them. Meer.
Yeah, alright then. Oh man, Duke told me about this. Arcavian.
What?
Is that the thing? The clan, your sister's clan.
She nods.
Got it right.
It's our clan.
It doesn't seem to be messing with your head all that much.
Not every Malkavian is a stuttering, buttering fool like everybody seems to believe.
Unless I'm missing someone, I think you're the first I've met. So...
You don't mingle with a lot of Malkavians, I imagine. You should meet Sun. He's on the Primogen Council in Chicago.
Yeah, I've seen the sun before.
No, she doesn't respond to that. Caught her completely off guard, and she is not joking around right now. Just leave me and her, my sister, here, please. And don't fucking share where we are with your friends.
They've already been here, so don't worry.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. So you were the fuckers who fucking broke in and caused a problem here.
Yeah, sorry, I had nothing to do with that. I'll tell them to stay away. They'll listen.
Your friends could have gotten themselves killed, and more importantly, they could have gotten me and my sister killed.
Okay. Well, stay away unless we have something for you or we have questions.
There's no unless.
Yes, there is an unless. Yes, there is an unless. You
know who you're fucking with.
You? Or the person who did the...
me.
Okay, well, then tell me who I'm fucking with then.
Why are you in Gary? Who are you?
This is what I was trying to say. I don't know how much you get out aside from making friends with a Tremere, but like, shit's about to change in Gary. New management kind of shit.
Oh, you guys are fucked. Leave. Just get out. New management's already on the way, okay? Just get out.
You what?
If you're here to establish some sort of rule of law, you're gonna get yourselves killed. Gary already has a ruler. They just don't fucking know it yet.
All right,
And that person, if they ever find out that people know where my sister is, that person will take care of that personally, and beyond killing you and anybody you ever fucking know, will kill us too.
Oh man, you
There's
really
no
are
room
stuck.
for fucking up here.
You're really super stuck here. You don't want help? The first thing I said was, I don't want to hurt you. The first thing this other person says is, step outside, talk to another person, you're all dead? That how you want to live?
Two's not great. As you like poke and prod her, she's like, I want to see you stand up to somebody who used to be fucking Prince.
Now that's a real weird thing to say. See, you say fuck. This person that's got their fucking boot on your throat isn't gonna know, because I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not a good person.
My sister.
I know that, but like...
So what's the plan then? What, I'm supposed to just let you walk out the front door and pretend none of this happened and hope to God you don't fucking tell anybody?
You have my full name, don't you? You have my word. It was good enough for you earlier.
Tell anyone else about Charlotte, please. Please.
Sure. I promise.
People are looking for her. She's worth a lot of money, and I don't need them coming looking.
This ain't got visionary kind of...
She actually lets out a cackle. Yeah, I think that's the nickname somebody gave her.
Shit, everyone thinks she's a fucking book.
She takes a minute, and she's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Everyone's saying it's a book.
What is?
A visionary.
Oh, well, that's fucking good at least. You can see it's like a true relief kind of crawl across her face.
That's a decent rumor. Oh man, okay.
Let's keep it that way, please.
Yeah, sure.
Listen, I'm only gonna warn this to you once because you've held to your word. Max will take Chicago again, all right? This is going to be his first step. Gary's is where he's built loyalty. You can't get in his way. He will kill you, and he will kill me, and he will kill Charlotte. Right now, he keeps us safe, he keeps us fed. And in return, he gets to listen to Charlotte.
The purple guy with pointy ears?
What?
I'm not fucking with you. Like, Max.
Wait, what are you talking about?
You're saying Max.
Yes, Prince Maxwell. He once ruled over Chicago, decades ago.
Oh, we are not talking about the same person.
Clearly not.
Okay. That is, above my pay grade.
Just
Yes.
yeah, exactly. So if you have any sense of self-preservation, just leave Gary, leave Chicago, come back in a few decades. I hear LA is chaos, so you could probably make it out there. New York is, I hear, is problematic right now.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
But there's you could go to not Las Vegas. You could go down to Louisiana somewhere, New Orleans. Like, just get the fuck out of Chicago.
You're saying a lot of places. I'm not going anywhere. So,
It's fine. It's your fucking grave.
here's my number.
No, I don't want your number. I don't want any evidence that you were here. He finds out.
How good are you
I am
remembering
dead. I don't know how
things?
much more clear I can make that for you.
No evidence.
If
Okay,
Max
then
finds out, I die.
memorize a number for me then.
That I can do.
Okay.
And I imagine you speak out the
Yeah.
number, and she repeats it back to you to ensure she has it.
Okay. One last super fast question about your sister. Does she make other people see things
No,
like from their
not that I
past
know
or
of.
something?
No, never.
Oh well, I'm
She
just kind of fucked up.
She just speaks possible futures, weird things that have yet to happen. Sometimes they never happen. Sometimes they happen exactly as she speaks it. I don't understand it, but Max finds it useful.
Right. Okay.
Can you please go?
Yeah.
He's
I'm gone.
Listen. Okay. And as you like, she'll stop.
Well,
at that
I'll
and be
wait
like,
for her to be like, "Hey, listen."
Oh, okay. She's just like, we're on a clock here. He knows something went wrong. He's probably gonna at least reach out via call. Just go.
Right. Super fast. That's what I'm good at now.
And very quickly, I imagine,
Oh yeah.
as you take it in, you quickly leave. As you shut the door behind you, you hear some shuffling from the nearby bedroom as you step out from the basement. Do you check it or nah?
Nah, I don't have time for that.
Okay. Out the front door you go, and you slip back into the streets. There's not enough time to return to the tire shop before sunrise, and Shaun isn't able to walk amongst the sun any longer. So as the next night, as before the next night ends, we rewind time ever so slightly as our camera falls to Max. Max, you haven't spoken to Adelaide in a few days. She was here to help take the tire shop, but then business kind of got busy, as it does. For now, she sticks at the top floor of the tire shop, where she's been kind of huddled and sleeping where she can. And as you head upstairs, you catch her reading the end of the latest comic you let her borrow, which would be...
Was it Detective Comics 237?
It probably
Probably.
was. I can't remember
Yes.
exactly. It could be a different one now too.
Well, there are a few.
What was that one about?
That is the first appearance of Batman, so it's actually a very expensive comic,
Okay.
but it's in such shitty condition. That, yeah.
You say shitty condition, I say well
Sure,
loved.
of course.
It's been well loved.
Uh,
And she's like, as you come back up and she's reading it, she's like, man, these guys talk really weird in the comics.
hey, kid, what's the rumpus? How you doing?
So
She smiles
that
as you
is
come,
when I
swing.
gave Stan Lee the idea for Iron Man.
And as Robert comes up, like explaining that, she's like, what? Who? Wait, no. Your name, Bob, right?
Nah, this
Bob Kowalski?
here's actually Sir Robert. How do you want her to call you there, Robert?
Well, I'm not a sir per se, but I'm Robert Christopher Creslington IV. I'm an OBE.
You can feel free to just
There's
call
a
him.
moment where she looks...
You can feel free to just call him Your Majesty, I reckon.
There is a moment of... There's a little confusion on her face as she gives an awkward bow, not quite sure if that's what she's supposed to do. Good to meet you. And Robert bows back and she stands up and there's a smile of pride across her face. Robert, the person standing before you looks very eerily similar to Max. Not as wrinkly, and perhaps not as monstrous in the face, but she has long purple pointed ears, a row of sharp teeth, and there's a stench that seems to emanate off of her all the time. You don't have to breathe, you are kindred, but if he ever decides to take a whiff, you would smell something that is rather unpleasant.
Yes.
So,
She looks as he makes that like movement, and the look of pride kind of disappears a little bit, but she looks back to Max. Yeah, I was just finishing this one, and as she shows the Batman comic, the first one where Batman arrives, she's like, yeah, why do these guys talk like that? No one talks like
well,
this.
you have to understand, kid, this was 1939, so the social mores have changed somewhat.
Did you know Stan Lee like him? And she points to Robert.
I never actually had the pleasure.
Did Stan Lee create Batman?
No, that's a totally different... Look, we're going to need to start your education from the ground up, but I just wanted to check in with you, see how you're doing.
A little shaken from watching someone's head gore like that, but other than that,
Yeah.
it's been probably the calmest nights we've had in a
Yeah,
while.
I'm sorry you had to see that, kid, but, you know, things get messy when you got vampire hunters running around with stakes sticking out of their pockets and whatnot. But
She shrugs and, well, Gustav was my sire, so
yeah,
I've seen some fucked up shit.
yeah. Well, I'm sorry for adding to the list. Listen, thought you might want to know, Vera says we're going to be moving into a bank soon.
Another move.
Yeah.
Is this one temporary too?
I guess in the greater scheme of things, Vera, she don't like Gary too much. She's pretty eager to head back to Chicago.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, me too. It ain't bad. And
what about you? And she looks over to Robert. You don't sound like you would like this place.
You would be correct in that assumption, and yes, I see that you have many years ahead of comic book education, and I apologize for mentioning Stan Lee in a DC conversation, but you know, I figure we're all brothers under the same moon, so to speak.
oh
when it
yeah.
comes to
Listen,
fans of comic books.
I don't pick no favorites. Marvel, DC, it's all good. Hey, throw in some Charlton. I'm happy. But tell me more about this meeting with Stan Lee. I mean, I lived in New York my whole life. Never ran into him when he was there. Tell me about Stan.
Well, it was a short stint in Chicago when he was a young strapping lad working for a whatever comic book company he worked for before Marvel, which I can't recall right now.
Atlas. It would have been
because
Atlas.
I-
Atlas before Marvel.
That was all I wanted, as far as I wanted to go with that trope, and now I find myself in a box.
I
Not unlike
understand.
a coffin that the vampire. My coffin is calling me.
Anyway,
Bob, is he like your best friend?
I like Robert. I like him fine. I just wanted you to know Bob is Robert now, just like you're Adelaide now. So
isn't Bob isn't that short for
yeah,
Robert?
except he's got a whole other persona and accent and everything. So I think we just call him Robert.
Yeah, I noticed.
To keep things straight. But
is it like one of those, like, you were telling me about those the kinds of us that are like, you know, you said they're like us but in the brain, not outside. What do you call them? Malkies,
Malkavian.
Is that what he is?
He ain't that. He's just British.
Oh. Well, I've known Shaun well enough. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. He's the other kind of British. There's two kinds of British: the highfalutin and the Shaun kind, and he's the highfalutin kind, as it turns out.
Which one's better?
You take the good, you take the bad. But speaking of which, I just wanted to make sure you're having an okay time here. I know you wanted more responsibility, and we've been trying to give it to you. So,
Yeah, I'm really good at. Well, Gustav had me steal all the time.
Yeah, well, that's a valuable skill to have. Let's face it. So, we'll keep that in mind. How are you coming along with that pop gun I gave you?
Oh, I haven't even tried to use it
Yeah,
yet.
well, might be good to.
It makes me nervous.
Yeah, it might be good to get familiar. Come in handy at a pinch. But
Does Robert know how to use a gun?
hey, I got to assume he does. He's been around a while. Probably one of them
Yeah,
blunderbusses
wait,
or whatnot.
how old is he?
Well, I'm used to being the oldest guy in the room, and he's got a few years on me. I'll put it that way.
I used to love European history. Is he like from that time?
Yeah. He's from the land of the past.
Can you next time we hang out, can you bring him?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm sure he'd be willing to fill you in on what life was like in the olden times and whatnot, huh?
I want to play him in chess.
Ooh.
That's what I want.
Okay, well, look who's highfalutin now, huh?
She smiles as she like straightens up her back. Okay, well, I'd like to start from the ground up with comics, but God, they talk so weird. I just don't know if I can handle the old ones. Is there like
Yeah,
newer
yeah,
ones?
well, most of my newest stuff.
What about Batgirl? Is there a Batgirl?
Yeah, there's Batgirl stuff. We'll get you that. Don't worry. I mean, most of my more
Okay.
modern stuff got torched by Gustav way back when, but it's never too.
Well, then you torched his nuts.
Yeah, well, I mean, not torched, blew apart with a shotgun, but it was incendiary shells. So yes, technically you are correct. I'm gonna check in with Vera, but I just wanted to make sure you're settled in okay up here, huh?
Yeah, if Mistress Vera wants to give me something to do and you think it's like something I'm okay to do.
Yeah, and I suppose the real reason I'm here, as he opens up his wrist and pours some into, again, probably whatever
And there's that look every time.
little 7-Up can
every
or something.
time when you go to draw your blood, she looks away. Yeah, and she looks away and she doesn't really like it. She's always uncomfortable going through it, and she tries to make it as quick as an experience as possible, guzzles it down as fast as she can before, wiping her mouth and trying to ignore the fact that she just had to do what she had to do. Thanks, I feel a lot better.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna go top up.
What comic are you gonna bring me next time? I want to know. I know. Spoilers, tell me.
It's gonna be a Batgirl. I gotta make a run out to the old local hospital to fill up my fridge again anyway, so I suspect dropping by a comic shop shouldn't be too much trouble.
Okay, I'm excited to read that. Yeah, did you hear they had a movie and they canceled it? It's so stupid.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing with that. That's crazy.
That makes me
They
so
already
mad.
got the movie done. What are you gonna some kind of tax break? Or
Why just put it out
You
there?
hear
That doesn't
off
make
in the
sense.
distance,
Stupid.
a waste of $90 million.
I agree with I agree with Robert. I like that. Can we trade him for the Shaun British?
Well, we got both. We got both now, so we're good.
Oh, we're keeping them both around. Okay. I thought it was like, kind of like a rare card. You can only have one.
No. There's plenty of British to go around. And Max will.
She gives.
We'll go on.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was
please.
just gonna.
She was just gonna she kind of goes quiet after that.
Max will leave her happily reading, and he will actually, on his way back from the hospital
Sure.
with some purloined blood, he will probably grab like a couple of trade paperbacks worth of Batgirl stuff. Like
Awesome.
some of the newer,
We'll
the Gail
say-
Simone stuff or whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll actually say Shaun will make it back in this night, right at the end, to meet up with Vera as you pass by Max as he's on his way out to head to the sewers and make his way to the hospital. Shaun kind of just quickly breezes by you. We probably wave to each other, but the night's running late and you can't spend time just chatting. So Shaun hurries his way inside.
Oh yeah.
And Vera, you recognize his steps, but moving much quicker than he normally does. Before Shaun bursts into the room with Robert nearby and Vera there.
Oh, past Max, he's just like swoosh. Hey, Princey.
What's that?
What?
He's gone.
He does this to Max on the outside. Yeah, it's like, hey, Princey, and Max stops for a minute.
What's that?
What?
Yeah. And he just shrugs and keeps going.
Shaun bursts through the tire shop door, down the stairs, into the room where Vera and Robert are spending time, probably chatting about future plans or what they're going to do for the rest of the night. And then Shaun bursts in.
We got, that big problem. It's a bigger problem than it seemed.
Would you like to debrief us?
Right.
Max, you forgot something, and on your way back in, you are able to arrive at this meeting perfectly. I just want to make sure.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
like, I shouldn't have Max not there. Let's get Max there. He'll leave after this.
Just like, oh, I forgot my chapeau. What? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you walk back in, and there's like a meeting happening.
Wait,
So it
Max,
turns
you
out-
may want to hear this.
So it turns out Max is trying to take over the city,
What?
and is using that girl in the basement.
What the
I-
hell are you
Yeah, you're a
talking
big
about?
prince now.
What?
I don't know, but she's real scared. They're real scared.
Wait. Prince Maxwell?
Right, yeah, that one. Prince Maxwell, not pointy
Who's
ears
supposed
over
to be
here.
dead, as far
Wait.
as you know.
There's no way. Prince Maxwell is acclaimed dead. He's not even supposed to be here.
Well, she seems pretty scared of him, so
It's a lot of information for Vera all of a sudden.
Whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
maybe.
whoa. So you're telling me we got an ex-prince who happens to be named Max making a power play for Gary? This is going to get very confusing
Yeah.
very fast. Okay, how about we always
Yeah,
call
maybe you
him...
can
I
take
agree.
advantage
We
of that.
always call him Prince Maxwell, all right? And I'm Max.
The old PM. That'll make Robert feel right at home.
What did she say? You clearly spoke with her.
Yeah, she tried to stab me. So going
Well,
like,
Shaun, many people have tried to. I've tried to stab you.
yeah. So it's like
Okay.
par for the
Okay.
course.
So, in new news,
Right, of course. Her sister can see the future, and Max uses that.
Prince Maxwell. Say Prince
She's
Maxwell.
the visionary.
Always call him Prince Maxwell. This will avoid confusion.
let's just. He is technically the ex-prince, for the record.
Okay, ex-Prince Max.
And we shall call him Maxwell. There you go.
Maxwell. Great.
You know, I hear he always feels like somebody's watching him.
Well, that's Rockwell.
Actually-
That's Rockwell, not Maxwell.
Robert, you've
Dang it.
been around Gary
You-
for quite a while.
Noggin's not
Uh,
together the way it used to be.
Robert arrived to Chicago right at the time, like a year or two before the giant like fire took over and Prince Max like supposedly died. So he didn't really know Prince Max all that well. He showed up right as they got switched over to the other one.
All right, our
Loden, I
Max.
think.
Max.
I'm just Max Classic,
You
all
said
right?
that
I
you
am
had
Max
made-
Classic.
Yes, of course you are.
First
Max.
edition
Vanilla
Max.
Yes.
This is
yes,
AD&D, Max.
Don't
MC.
change the formula.
Max, you said that you had spoken with this Nosferatu who runs and seems to speak for all the other Nosferatu in town, but you said he was old. He had been here for a while.
I didn't actually speak to him. He's pretty cagey. Danoff sounds like it's going to be a while.
Okay, so you have a connection.
Friend of a friend.
That's all right. He would know Maxwell. He would have been here when Prince Maxwell ruled. He may be able to give us some information as to why. Because here's the thing. Once you're seated as prince, the only way out is death. Or to, of course, be kicked out of your seat, but that is almost worse than death. So the question is, why would Maxwell fake his own death? What is he cooking up in the basement that is more important than, say, the seat he was holding?
I don't know.
Why now?
I mean, how long ago did he fake his death? It's a pretty long con.
Late 1800s.
It's a pretty long con, if you ask me. I mean, he may have left for other reasons, and then this just came along. Or
It also could be that he lost power and used the chaos of it to fake his death to hide and do something else until he could gain power back. There's a lot of reasons a kindred would fake their death.
But the question is, why now? Why is he returning now? Because the other prince is gone? Because something else is rising in Gary that we don't know about? And why would he need the allspecs of another kindred if he's looking into the
Remember-
future or trying to read into something?
Both leaders of the Anarch and the Cam and Gary mysteriously also disappeared.
When did
That's why there was
Max fake his
chaos.
death?
I
Maxwell?
have to look. Let me look exactly.
Great Fire of
I'll tell
Chicago
you in a
was way
second.
back. Like,
Yeah, I might be getting
Might
that.
be
I'll tell you.
1868 was... No, 1874 is when the fire was. I arrived in 1860.
Yeah, he was Prince. He lost to princedom in 1871.
So
is when he fell from
geez,
princedom.
about 150 years
So-
plus.
So
Yeah, it's been a long
150
while.
years he's been plotting something, lying in wait. Shaun, the kindred you met in the basement, and her sister?
And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
the Devil's Night that he supposedly died in, just to be sure, which
What
is
a-
the night of the fire being set in Chicago.
Were they older kindred? Could you tell?
They seemed pretty young. Like they were. They fully tail between their legs. They didn't know what was up.
Do you know why Maxwell waited? Because he didn't have this girl. He didn't have this kindred to give him a vision into the future.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like he needs her that much. Like he's interested, sure, but like basically our lives are in this girl's hands. If she tells them that we met her, Maxwell, sorry, will kill us and them,
Whoa.
which is why we need to keep it quiet as well.
What do you mean we? Because as far as I know, I was never seen there.
Okay, but we're friends, aren't we?
Yeah.
If someone's coming for me, they're coming for us.
Yeah. And he puts his
Yeah, I
hand.
hope.
He puts his hands on Sean's shoulder, like, I like you, even though you're not the highfalutin kind of British.
A lot of people like me because I'm not. No offense,
I'm feeling
Robert.
tired and a bit overwhelmed with information. I am going to take a moment. If Maxwell has returned, this is something Jackson is going to want to know, which makes the situation much more complicated. But in its complication, potentially assures us some extra resources.
Yeah.
If Jackson really wants this back from Maxwell, he may have to pay for it.
Yes. Bonus fact. Definitely working with a Tremere. And I like flick through my camera roll and like I'm taking pictures of the circle, of the runes around the thing. That's Tremere shit.
Was there
I'm
a
gonna figure it
chantry
out.
here in Gary?
No. Mm-mm.
It's a chantry.
All right. Later, Shaun. I'm going to go lie down. And in a fresh moon, I have a party. I wonder what the factions of Gary will tell us about the things going on here, willingly or unwillingly.
Have fun with that.
The idea brews. The coterie probably mingles a little longer, but eventually go their separate ways, unless there's anything else you want to shoot off of the coterie. And we watch as each coterie member leaves one at a time, but Vera stays the latest, sitting, blankly staring, pacing. The gears are turning. And it's on this shot of Vera refusing to go to bed at any reasonable hour that we end the episode. Next week, we have a solo episode between myself and Mr. Robert Creslington IV. And then after that, another solo episode with myself and Shaun. We'll take a nice brief peek into Robert's history. I'm very excited to see exactly what caused him to leave England, and we'll see what Shaun was doing while he was out and about for Vera those nights ago. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.